Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Augustus, and I'm back again with another episode of Tsukihime. When we last left off, I probably shouldn't go into very much detail about that, but there was an unfortunate happening between Shiki and Arc that, it did something to their relationship. Whether it damaged it or is something that can be ignored. Well, it's not something that can be ignored, obviously, but what kind of impact it had on their relationship is yet to be seen. Is there anything else I want to talk about before we start? No, I don't think so, other than we're really getting close to the end. I think we're probably about a quarter of the way through, or we have a quarter of the way left, rather, at most. We are pretty close to the ending of this, which is good because I like the endings. And that means I can get onto Ciel's route and then move on to my favorite routes. But that's not saying these routes are bad or Ciel's is bad or anything like that. I have the most vivid memories for some of the later routes, and you'll probably see why when we get there. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? 10. Vermilion Crimson Moon 2. It's morning. I open my eyes and put on the glasses near my bed. Looking out the window, I see a cloudless blue sky. Even though a flawless morning greets me, I can't help but feel down. There's no need to wonder why. What happened with Arcueid last night sticks in the back of my mind, and the accompanying guilt troubles me. She said we should forget it. But I can't forget such a thing. I look at both my hands. These fingers still remember how Arcueid felt. Even now, I remember the texture of her skin and her cool, gliding body temperature. I wasn't thinking at all back then, but I understand it all now. After doing such a thing, Arcueid said to forget and pretend like it never happened. But while I regret it totally, I can't even forget one little bit of it. What I regret is not being able to control myself back then. If I didn't touch her like some animal, if I touched her more like a human, how would things have... I knew it. I didn't lose myself by looking into her golden eyes. I didn't realize it, but I was caught up in her a long time ago. To realizing such a simple thing just now. The morning in the Tono mansion is the same as always. Hisui comes to wake me. Akia and Kohaku-san are in the sitting room and greet each other briefly before we go to school. The same as always. Yet I feel so empty I can't even respond properly when people talk to me, and I leave the mansion vacantly. The students streaming through the gate are all bright and cheerful. Oh yeah, today is Saturday. My sense of time has totally disappeared since Arcueid came into my life. The first time I met her was on a Friday. A week ago in the morning, she was waiting for me at the intersection in front of school. She was smiling, I think. Come to think of it, she was smiling. Even though she was waiting for the one who killed her, she was waiting for the killer, Tono Shiki, with excitement in her eyes. I wonder why. If she comes tonight, maybe I'll ask her. After thinking aloud, my spirits sink further. She probably won't come to the park. The feeling that last night was our final meeting turns over in my mind. My heart is heavy and everything else simply feels empty. I may not ever see her again. The regret hangs around me like a leaden chain. I sit at my desk. It's about 5 minutes until homeroom starts. I stare outside blankly, not wanting to do anything. Yo, delinquent. You skipped class yesterday. What the heck were you doing, Tono-kun? You did too, to be fair, because we went to here at school in another reality and you weren't there. I let out a heavy sigh. Usually I would, but today I don't feel like talking with Arihiko at all. What's with you? You don't look happy at all. You didn't come to school yesterday and now you come back an empty shell. If you're like that, school's no fun. Arihiko slumps his shoulders exaggeratedly. Arihiko, sorry, but can you leave me alone today? If I'm not here, you can always talk with Senpai. Actually, isn't that better for you? Huh? Senpai? I don't know any third-year students. What are you saying? Ciel-sensei's in third year, not second. Well, sometimes you think she's younger, but Senpai is Senpai after all. Ciel-sensei? Who's that? Are there any foreign students at her school? He seriously tilts his head in thought. What are you saying? Senpai is Japanese. No. Wait. No one ever said she was Japanese. Well, no one said she was, but everyone called her Ciel-sensei. That's what I'm saying. Who is this Senpai? What's wrong, Tono? Are you sick or something? Well, yes, he is, but I can't hear his banter. What? That's right. Why didn't I realize such an obvious inconsistency? Ciel isn't a Japanese name at all. Even though I know her, I don't even know her full name. I don't even know what class she's in. To begin with, when I first met her, why did I feel like I knew her for a long time? My chair clatters as I quickly stand up. What's wrong, Tono? You've been acting too funny. I'm going to the office. Sorry, but please say that I'm here during attendance. Yeah, lie for me, Arihiko. Turning away from Arihiko, whose head is tilted in confusion, I dash out of the classroom. That's an interesting little event. I investigate the third-year roster for the name Ciel, but as expected, it isn't anywhere to be seen. To be sure, I asked the teachers in the office, but none of them remember Ciel-sensei. The end of classes. Being a Saturday, right after homeroom, all my classmates scatter out of the room. Saturday is finally here, but I don't feel like doing anything. Feeling like the dead, I walk home by myself. That's strange. Very, very strange. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. Hisui greets me as I return. Even though she's waited all this time, I can't even return a greeting, and I go to my room. Not gonna make a face at us, Hisui? You usually do that. After dinner, I return to my room. It's close to the promised time with Arcueid. Shall I be going? I don't even know if she's coming. But still, I swore never to break a promise again, so I have to go. I arrive at the park shortly before 10. There's absolutely no one here. Sitting on the bench, I stare at the clock and wait for Arcueid to come. Oh, I guess here is the place where we're going to save very quickly. This one. And, well, we can return to the mansion, or we can wait. But I've said it once, and I'm sure I'll beat it to death like every other thing that I say that's mildly interesting, or, well, not interesting, but funny to me. What do I look like, a waiter? We're going to go back to the mansion. Arcueid doesn't come. It's only natural. After doing that, after trampling over anything or everything she trusted me with, I forcibly violated her body. She probably won't come. This is what she meant when she said for both of us to forget about it. Damn it. My heart wrapped in regret, I leave the park. I return to the mansion. Opening the rear door, I walk inside. I yawn. I'm about on the verge of yawning myself. I sink onto my bed without thinking. Tick, tick, tick. The sound of the clock echoes through the room. Just sleep for now. When I wake up tomorrow, things will be different. About Arcueid, about the vampire roaming the city. When morning comes, all of it will be... 11. Cream. This is a cream, right? Yeah. Weird name. Weird name. Throb, throb, throb. Thump, thump, thump. Throb, throb, throb. Thump, thump, thump. The pain synchronizes with my pulse. Every time I feel the throb of pain, my memories fade away. Every time my heart thumps, memories are plastered on. The fading away memories are probably extras. Memories, the past, experiences I don't need. All of it fades away. In other words, oblivion. As regret washes over me, as my memories thin, as my past fades away, I reach out with my hand. But I can't grasp anything. Because I've already forgotten what kind of memories I've lost. Throb, throb. The repeating headache makes me feel sick, and even in my dreams, I feel like throwing up. Shiki-sama, are you awake? I hear a voice. Please hold on. I will bring you something to drink. After that, the sound of running footsteps. I slowly open my eyes. I'm lying in bed with the radiant sunlight streaming through the window. Morning? Slowly lifting myself up, I feel my own sweat drenching me. What? I must have had a nightmare or something. I try to remember what I dreamt about. Yes, I get it. ... I can't remember. It is the nature of dreams to fade upon awakening. But there's still something. I feel like there's a vague image of something I've forgotten. Shiki-sama, have you woken yet? I'm up. Morning, Hisui. Yes, good morning, Shiki-sama. Hisui approaches the bed, expressionless as always. I have brought you something to drink. If you are not feeling well, please drink. Hisui carries a silver tray with the drink prepared on it. No, I don't feel bad or anything. I slept deeply, so my head is clear too. However, Hisui offers a rare reply. It appeared your condition was bad last night. It seems like I did have a nightmare last night. Nah, there's nothing wrong with me. But I'm really grateful that you're concerned, Hisui. Yes, I am glad you are well, Shiki-sama. Hisui looks at me with her delicate glass eyes. I feel uneasy. I'll go change and head to the dining room. Please tell Kohaku-san I'll be having breakfast. I understand. Well then, it's 7 o'clock. I can take my time this morning. Akiya and Hisui are in the sitting room. From the kitchen, I can hear Kohaku-san's lilting humming. That's actually not a word I'm familiar with. Lilting? Yeah, interesting. Learn new things every day. I read a lot, but I don't read it. I'm dumb. Good morning, Nissan. Morning. You don't seem very cheerful today, Akiya. Was there something you didn't like in your breakfast? Nissan, how did you arrive at that conclusion? Just came to my mind. I just remember that there were many kinds of food you either liked or disliked. That's rude. I was that way as a child, but now I have no dislikes. I see. That's odd, because if that's the case, then you should have more physical development for your age. Nissan, did you just say something? Akiya glares at me. Crap. I should watch my mouth. No, I didn't say anything. I was just thinking aloud, so don't worry about it. Jeez. Seems there was no need to worry, Hisui. I don't think Nissan will die even if you kill him. No, that's I guess an interesting line in the context of this thing, but that's up there, in my opinion, with people die when they are killed. Yes, I feel the same way. Akiya sighs, and Hisui expressionlessly agrees. I can guess from their conversation they were both worried about me. How sweet. Somebody cared. Why? I wonder why. Why? Normally you would worry. After you came home last night, you went straight to bed and had nightmares all night. Even though we tried to wake you, you never woke up. Doesn't that sound like you were sick? Oh? Really? But I didn't really catch a cold or anything. I do not think you had a cold. Shiki-sama, you were sleeping as always, and your temperature and breathing were normal. But you were secreting lots of sweat. Secreting? How very clinical. I don't like that word choice. Me neither. It was worse on me because I was tending you, so please be a little thankful. And thank Kohaku as well. I couldn't have done it by myself. Yourself? Akiya, you were caring for me? You care? Of course I was. We are siblings. I was only watching your condition. It was Kohaku who cleaned your sweat. She looks away and mumbles like she was talking to herself. This isn't like her, as she normally looks at you directly and says things directly. Really? Thanks, Akiya. Sorry to worry you. You don't have to thank me. I was just doing my duty. If you want to thank someone, thank Kohaku. She looks away and doesn't even try to look at me anymore. Shiki-san, breakfast is ready. Kohaku-san's voice rings out from the kitchen. Nissan, please hurry and eat your breakfast. Gotcha. I head to the dining room. Please be careful on your way, Shiki-sama. I'm off. I'll be back around 4 o'clock today. Raising a hand to the bowing Hisui, I leave the mansion. Wait, isn't today Sunday? Isn't school closed today? I walk the morning path to school. Monday morning. Wait, we slept for an entire day. Interesting. For some reason, my feet feel really light today. Maybe it was because these past few days were so out of the ordinary, my body welcomes such a normal day. Huh? That's strange. I said out of the ordinary, but what kind of life was that? I feel like something very important happened, but I can't remember what it was. Yo, Tono, we did sleep for a day, like an entire day, right? I'm not like that dumb and forgetful, right? Arihiko whacks me in the back in greeting. Morning. You're pretty early today. Just a whim of mine. Well, it doesn't hurt to act like a good student every now and then. Arihiko laughs brightly. Seeing that smile assures me that this is my world. What is it, Tono? Making such a difficult expression. Did you forget something at your home? Did you forget something? Those words reverberate through my head like a curse. But in the end, I can't remember what it was I forgot. Nah, I didn't forget anything. Let's hurry up to the classroom. After waking up this early, it'd be a waste if you were late, right? You've got a point. I pass the school gate with my friend. With that, something ends completely. I feel someone staring at me, and I turn around. But there's no one there. Just the scattering leaves in the courtyard. Tonoshiki heads to class, as if returning to a peaceful, happy, and normal everyday life. End. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is... well, we'll take a lesson. Yes, of course. Well, that's pretty much the bad end without the bad. It's just an ending, really. Yeah, let's take the lesson. Teach me, Ciel-sensei. Yay! This is the last lesson for the day, but let's all have high spirits. Yes, since it's a long story, you might get sleepy or hungry, or your fingers might get tired, but please plan accordingly so your schedule and energy levels allow you to keep on playing. Now, it is after school. Well, that last paragraph kind of doesn't work because, recording and all that. Whatever. Now it is after school. The reason is obvious, right? It irritates me to defend her, but if you've come this far, you have to keep going until the very end. Saying that, maybe such an end is happiness for Tono-kun, though. Maybe the little cream defines everything. Maybe the title cream defines everything. It really does tug at the heartstrings. This concludes the day's lessons. Let's meet again on the second day of lessons. Yeah, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to end off. That was an interesting ending because, well, it wasn't a bad end exactly. There was no arc. There was no memories of the past few days, which, all things considered, in the grand scheme of things, well, in the grand scheme of things, it's very bad because I know how, whatever. But kind of as a general thought, as a very basic thought, that's not that bad. It's not a bad end, really. It's, maybe it's better for Shiki because there's no more chances for him to die horribly. The problem is gone. He's forgotten about it. It's left him. And there's no arc. There's no conclusion for her. What happens to her is probably very bad. But still, there is something about that ending that, well, it's interesting to think about, in my opinion. But anyway, next episode, we are probably going to get to the bad end that I was talking about from the, last episode. Unless certain scenes are much longer than I thought they were, we will absolutely be getting to it, pretty early on. But saying that, we are getting pretty close to the end. That was, like I said it herself, or Ciel-sensei said it herself. That's, the end of day 2, the end of the second day of lessons. There's a lot left, but there's, in terms of story and density of what's presented to you, but there's really not that much more left, and that's, we're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end. We're close to the climax. We're close to everything we've been working for concluding and wrapping up, except not, because this is a Nasu game, and nothing he ever does is ever fully, completely, 100% wrapped up and explained, because he likes open-ended stuff, and that's, I also like doing that in my own writing and in reading, so whatever. And anyway, I'm rambling on much, much more than I should be. So, next time, we will wait like a waiter and see a horrible, horrific bad end. Anyway, I hope to see all of you there.